I'm Erin with this week's health and nutrition news. Congress and President Barack Obama are budgeting hundreds of millions of dollars to battle the Zika virus. The infection, which experts fear is spreading very fast, has been linked to thousands of youngsters being born with underdeveloped brains. Basically, it's a brain-shrinking bug. So it's no surprise that the Centers for Disease Control officially declared that Zika presents as much of an international danger as Ebola did a year ago. These warning levels will help fast-track research and aid toward fighting the infection. Although the mosquito-borne virus's symptoms are usually mild, it's believed to be linked to brain shrinkage. So, if you're going camping or playing in the park, stay safe with anti-mosquito spray. Also, avoid yucky puddles or rivers on a hot day. Don't worry about having your brain shrink though. It's mainly something that can affect babies before they're born. The lack of population immunity in newly affected areas and the absence of vaccines, specific treatments, and medical tests worry health officials. Also, El Niño weather patterns are expected to increase mosquito populations greatly in many areas. Hopefully, once the government wrangles out a budget, medical experts will find a cure.
Hey, what are you doing? Hey, stop it! Hey, you're messing up here! Come on!
On a brighter note, children's brains light up at the sound of their mother's voice. According to new fascinating research, children's brains respond more strongly to their mother's voices than to the voices of strangers, even when heard for only a fraction of a second, according to a new study. Hearing a mother's voice affected areas of the brain beyond those involved in listening. The researchers found that when children heard the mother's voices, parts of the brain related to emotions, rewards, and facial recognition lit up more than when children heard the voices of women the kids didn't know. The patterns of connection in children who have good social communication skills form a neural fingerprint, the researchers found, and in future studies they hope to use this neural fingerprint to study the brains of children who have trouble communicating socially, such as those with autism.
Oh, Timothy! Bruce! Eve! Come to dinner!
What else is super bright? The sun! Unfortunately, nearly half of all sunscreens fail to meet their SPF claims. You know, those numbers on the bottle that promise hardcore anti-sun powers. A Consumer Reports investigation found that 43% of sunscreens did not live up to their labels, according to CBS. Consumer Reports tested 65 sunscreen products with an SPF of at least 30, which is the minimum level recommended by the American Academy of Dermatology, which is an organization of skin experts. Products were tested by having people apply sunscreen to their backs, sit in water for the amount of water-resistant time recommended on the bottle, and then expose themselves to ultraviolet or UV light. They were then checked for redness the next day. Sunscreens that performed the worst were ones that contain active ingredients called titanium dioxide and zinc oxide, while top sunscreen performers contain ingredients like avobenzone. The study also found waterproof sunscreens are a myth, telling CBS that no such product exists. Whoa, I guess I better read the list of ingredients on sunscreen more closely before summer arrives.
I'm gonna fill it with mayonnaise. Here you go with your suntan lotion. Every time.
If you get a nasty sunburn, you might need to call Dr. Robot. After all, future surgeries will be performed not by doctors, but by machines. Imagine this scenario. A surgeon is set to stitch together a patient, but instead of doing the whole procedure by himself, he turns to a surgical robot for assistance. This picture may indeed become reality in the not-too-distant future, thanks to a team of researchers from Children's National Health System and Johns Hopkins University. The scientists, whose work was recently published in Science Translational Medicine, have developed a robot surgical system dubbed the Smart Tissue Autonomous Robot, or STAR. Putting skin together again presents a challenge for surgeons because our soft tissue can move and change shape in complex ways. Surgeons must be skilled enough to respond to these changes and perform procedures as tightly and evenly as possible. Otherwise, you can end up with nasty scars. Now, researchers found that a robot surgeon can adjust to the subtle movement and deformation of soft tissue to perform precise and consistent repair. So, how does STAR work? STAR has a 3D imaging system and special sensors to keep its needle on track. Wowzers!
Our team have made it super smart by incorporating best surgeons' techniques into it.